I guess you can say, your intuition, and also mixed with a bit of instinct as well. That's more Mars. So going to Libra, it's always preferring balance, balance, harmony. I know that some people might find it, when it comes to emotions like that, it's like emotions with the relationship. If I don't get along, you kind of question it. You start to also analyze it. You go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Um, you want the blessings behind that is like you want to be able to just go through. You have to accept. You have to allow the truth to the body. Actually, will tell you the truth when you're in silence and stillness. You sense it. Moon in Scorpio. That's the opposite of Taurus. It's actually in what do you call that? There's a term for it. It's detriment. It's a detriment. So that means it's not as strong as the moon would be if it were in like Taurus. So that means that it's more concerned about transformation and sort of that excitement of like going beyond this world, and it starts to go, what's serious, what is more, how can I share my possessions, how can I actually connect with others in a very deep and profound truthful level. Where you have moon in Scorpio, you have to look at where your Pluto is. Pluto, if it's in a different sign, it affects that, it gives it a color. So it depends on the house as well. Okay, and any aspects to moon as well. So the moon through Sagittarius is like an excited sign. It likes adventure, it likes optimism, it's kind of like Aries, sort of also like Leo, where it's like that sort of, there's a childlikeness to it as well. There's a sort of like, I want to do this, I want to just go, I want to just go. But without, the difference is that with Sagittarius, it's like, it wants to just keep going. It doesn't matter what the risks are. It's risk taking. As you see the signs as they progress, they kind of carry behavior, so to speak, from the other signs previous to them. So it's kind of like Sagittarius has gotten things from all the way from Aries all the way to itself, kind of thing. So it kind of behaves in that way. Um, so just like Gemini, it's the opposite of Gemini. It's has a bit of curiosity, is wants to go, wants to learn, wants to explore, wants to know, but it's beyond that. It's philosophy. So a lot of that moon, it makes you feel at home. Remember that moon is feeling at home, where your emotions are habits, feeling like yourself at home. Right? So then moon in Capricorn, that's where it becomes the opposite of the moon. It's completely in its fall. Um, Rise? No, it's not in detriment. So no, this is the detriment. So if it's exalted, that means it's a detriment. If exalted is rise. Oh, no, that's right. So this case, this is in its detriment. Sorry. So Scorpio was in its fall, but this one is in detriment. So that means that even though you're not able to feel as much, you're very practical when it comes to emotions, it's okay. The moon in Capricorn, the blessings behind that is that you're able to see things from more like, let's see it more practically. Let's see it more like, what can we do about this one, right? And of course, some people don't. There are people who feel more, that like to be more intuitive, I suppose. There is intuition in Earth, where it's more grounded. In fact, I know people who are Capricorn that have this tendency to, their senses tend to, there's a sort of the Capricorn certainly is not exact. Earth is more connected to the Earth itself because it is Earth. So what happens is there's more sensitivity towards like perceptions as well, the senses. I noticed this, and it was just like, oh, I know I've met a lot of Capricorns who have this sort of. It's not just their moon stuff. It's not just their Mercury is. It's not just that. It's just literally there's something about the people that I've seen on, be it both on TV, online, in person, people I know, my friends who are Capricorn or ex-friends, they had this awareness. It's sort of like so much, they're so connected to the earth that they can sense the energies around here. So they can have sense perception, like they have, what do you call this? They can see ghosts, for example, or they can see energy, they can see all these things. It's interesting. Like Capricorn, for some reason, does that. Specifically Capricorn, because it's not as technical. It's more out there. It's in the border of it's ruled by Saturn, right? So it's so grounded. It's kind of like on one like 360 when whoosh, right. So it's like it actually has its own form of intuition. It's interesting. So Moon then it goes into which I have this placement Moon in Aquarius, very analytical, very intellectual, very like wants to do research on things, wants to. It feels at home with um, society, being one with people, being one with as a whole, being a collective, being social, being not social like blah 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 social, but connected, and has its aspirations and goals towards the future technology. Not necessarily, not always technology, but like learning from the past as well, because that's Moon. It's rules Cancer, so it has a lot to do with conservation, a little bit like Saturn. It's like wants to go back, it wants to go home. So it looks back into its ancestry, but in a sort of how can my ancestry go back into the past and so that the future will benefit. So that's like Aquarius. It's very intellectual, it's very out there. It's ruled by Uranus and also Saturn. And so it has that sort of like uniqueness about it. It's a different intuition. It's very airy, but it's like whoosh, out there. I saw this symbol on one of my books by Judy Hall. Talks about Aquarius. When Aquarius sees, when it's the symbolism of Aquarius is like an eagle flying, like or anything like in air, like flight. It's not really escapism, but sort of like Pisces, but more like freedom from probably even like typical, you know, airy stuff like communication. Aquarius doesn't really like to talk too much. He likes to think a lot. It's not about talking. It's not about that kind of logic. It's a higher type of logic. Right? Then we go into that form where it's, we transition into Moon in Pisces, which opposite of Virgo is not no longer analytical, but learns to just let go and just like it loves to be at home. Oh, by the way, Aquarius loves to be at home with all that stuff I mentioned. Yes, I already mentioned it. So, but with Pisces, Moon and Pisces people love to they you feel at home with uh, things that are just spiritual, well, but not really religion, but faith sort of stuff. But yeah, and it's like the ethereal, the ruled by Neptune, right? So that's about it. My parents are here. I'll see you guys later. That's all we have for today. I'm okay. I'll see you guys later. That's all. So anyways, I hope you like that video because it came to me and I just said, you know what? Let's try this. But anyways, I hope you guys really liked it. If you have any comments about or questions about particular about the moon itself, where it is in your chart, how it really actually helps you as a person, what you've learned from yourself, your lunar self, your emotions, all that stuff, comments down below, and do like and subscribe. Thank you.